just underway. San Antonio got the opening tap, and with 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, Sean Elliott starts by burying a three-pointer. A little more done off the bench. Here's a little pull-up by Van Exel. McDyess kept it alive. Nick will try again with a better result. Corey Alexander off to Van Exel, down low. Here's McDyess fading away from 12 down. Antonio have an 8-4 lead. Robinson trying to guard McDyess. Turn around from Antonio. That's on the button also. You can tell his legs are back. There's Robinson sweeping in past Danny Fortson.
And that's going to be a problem. One of the keys to this game is how they match up. You see McDyess running Tim Duncan, who's guarding him down at the other end.
8 ball game, San Antonio by 2. Avery Johnson on the switch has McDyess on him. Inside is Duncan, and that is too easy. The Nuggets got confused there defensively. At 3 a moment ago, this rolls out. There's Duncan. And Duncan had it blocked and blocked again. This time Keon Clark ahead of the field. McDyess going up, throw it down.
He was with Phoenix last year against San Antonio, and he gave Tim Duncan and San Antonio all sorts of problems.
Another block. Duncan gets the rebound and a foul. This one will be on Antonio McDyess. Here's Duncan. Taking his time, spinning, and kissing it off the glass. He came into the league with that move. 3 ticks left in the period. Duncan spins in and lost the basketball, but he was fouled. And it will go on Carl Herrera. Pressure. They like to do it when Keon Clark's on the floor. Down low, Duncan backing his way in, spinning, lost the basketball, but he was fouled. About a minute's rest, and he's back in there. Nuggets doing a pretty good job as Duncan hits scrambling around defensively.
Over 3 a game, and that's not a Tim Duncan style of game.
Here's McDyess in deep, gets Duncan in the air, and Antonio will get to the line. And San Antonio comes away with it. Antonio Daniels, top pick last year of Vancouver, came in a trade, gives it up, and Duncan uses that left hand. On the floor, you think he's like 6'4".
Yeah.
So he is also a 7-footer caught in a guard's body. McDyess thought somebody else had the rebound. It came right back to Duncan, or the spot that he vacated. Sean Elliott back in the game. Eric Williams checking him. There's a turnover. McDyess giving it up. Williams slashing in, and he almost finished it.
Doesn't got to move his feet.
Here's Jackson. You don't want to leave him, and he has hit another three-pointer.
Standing and watching on the baseline, Jaren Jackson just moved a little bit and got the rebound.
Robinson fouled, and David will go back to the line.
In the paint, but they're also hitting that mid-range and the long jumper. But they're not. You get drives like that, the defense watching.
Corey lobs, and that was read by Duncan. They keep pounding it in inside to Tim Duncan or David Robinson, and that makes good sense as Duncan drops another. Kerr finds Sean Elliott. 4-second differential, and Will Perdue throws it down. So the Nuggets will have plenty of time. They will carry that 7-point lead to the locker room. Tim Duncan. Duncan already has a double-double in the basketball game. He averaged a double-double as a rookie, and again this year he is averaging a double-double.
Well, he's phenomenal. Actually didn't shoot that well, just 6 of 15, but as you said, 10 rebounds. But you got to do your work early with Tim Duncan. That time, nice steal on McDyess. They find him. He scores. Nice little jumper to the middle over Herrera. And then what a nice spin move to create a distance on Keon. That one's the baseline. He's got the whole package. This guy can go inside, got all sorts of moves. He's just got to try to contain him. Still need to get that attitude back. Maybe if McDyess stays out foul trouble, they'll do that.
Good start for Antonio. He's in double figures with 11 point range. He has 4 triples tonight. And there's a turnover. He scoots in, and he blows a layup. You know, San Antonio will probably be up by about 15. They've missed a lot of layups. Here's McDyess.
Played them.
Duncan, boy, is he something else. Tim Duncan. Off to Duncan. And Duncan then lost the basketball. Who are they going to call a foul on?
Antonio play defense like San Antonio's been making Denver play.
Sean Elliott had it blocked by McDyess, but a foul. If this one's on Antonio, it will be 4.
I think it limits his game.
Johnson drives and goaltending. Antonio went up to the top floor and then some and threw it away. It was a pretty play, but it will count as 2 for Avery Johnson.
He swings with both hands. There's the right, missed it, and then there's the left. I've never seen that. He misses with the right, blocks it with the left.
Do you know what? I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Oh, my. Are you kidding me? Woo.
Here's McDyess.
That is the prettiest goaltending I've ever seen.
And there's a foul on Duncan. And Duncan getting after Terry Durham, and there's a T. Fading away, got a push in the back. And McDyess goes to the floor. They wave off the violation. Duncan will scrape in and hammer it down. They got knocked away from McDyess from behind.
And they're always playing 2-man games. And then pop a 7-footer out to hit a jumper with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Seems to me that's a little unfair. 70-63. McDyess to the top shelf. Half steals pretty close. San Antonio by 3, and tips Duncan drops in a 16-footer. Sean Elliott. There's Duncan. Just hanging around the paint that time. Tim Duncan, maybe as easy as 2 for the night.
Rebound and just flies in a basket that he really can't get.
McDyess fades away from 15. Splash. 74-69. Back. The foul was on Jerome Kersey. 76-69. McDyess over Duncan, dropping it in. And San Antonio doubling Antonio. And it was blocked from behind by Duncan. They want Stiff posted up. He has Daniels on him. Antonio puts it on the floor. Another foul. This one will be on Duncan. From Big Mac, 81-74. The Nuggets trailing by 7. San Antonio begins the quarter with the basketball. Duncan with 27 misses, and McDyess hauls down a difficult rebound. Kersey out there with Kerr, Daniels, Duncan, and Will Perdue. And Will Perdue will get credit for the basket as Keon Clark arrived a little late. Want Duncan naturally against McDyess. Duncan has been hot all night, and he kissed one off the glass. Perdue is there, and a loose ball foul. Into Duncan, and they finally get a hoop.
Too deep.
Way too deep. Alexander gives it up. McDyess fades away. I think Antonio thought the shot clock average. He also has 6 rebounds.
You talked about San Antonio giving matchup problems. McDyess hits a nice J.
Just mentioned. Kersey on a drive, good hands by McDyess, and Antonio going to a familiar spot. This guy has spent more time in the crowd than most of the season ticket holders this year.
How does he take your time to get back on the court?
Duncan from way outside with the shot clock about to go off.
Well, we got a benefit of the replay. Let's see if we see the foul. Nice pull through, step comes up. Look like a lot of arms on elbows, but you're right. The players get upset when it looks like the guy's out of position. Now, they're lucky they don't call it on McDyess.
Nice to see.
Yeah.
David Robinson played in the 20s. Duncan played 30s. McDyess lost it on the way up. Mike D'Antoni cannot believe there was not a foul call. McDyess trying to shove him out to about 16 feet. 5 to shoot it. Duncan, fade away. Great defense by McDyess, and he gets the rebound. Got a hand right in his face. You know, he blocked 2 of his shots in the first half, standing there. A lot of guys will get weak side blocks. McDyess gets straight up blocks. Yeah. Here's Antonio from 20. Nuggets needed that. The lead cut to 9.
Stood there and waited.
McDyess, same spot as a moment ago. This one a little too strong. Easy pickings for David Robinson. Several notches right now. 4:05 left. Van Exel on a drive. McDyess slashes in, and Antonio will go to the line. Talk about a high-energy guy. He's amazing. He has not stepped off the floor in the second half.
No, but he does on both ends. Here's the play before. Almost gets caught quick enough to get back, and then just able to get a shot up, or to get a hand up on the shot, and then offensively, the outside jumper really hasn't spent a lot of time outside. Has been doing it in and out tonight.
Van Exel had that one volleyball spiked by Duncan.
I was going to say takes care of the basketball. Turnover right there is going to lead to a layup.
That was tapped in by McDyess. That'll be Antonio's, and he's got 29.
But he just solid, you know what I'm saying? He just does the little things. He doesn't have to shoot, but he can.
For Alexander.
See, San Antonio just killing Denver. Every time they go to this little 1-2-2 full court press.
Cover card, payback, playback, and it involves Avery Johnson giving it up to Tim Duncan. Duncan running the floor. Duncan had the whole repertoire going tonight. He has 32 points in the game. That is our Discover Card payback, playback. Yeah, he can shoot it. In fact, 13 of his 16 shots this year have been from three-point range. Eric Williams just throws one up. San Antonio led from start to finish.